the badass statesman was going to turn on them and they'd have to take him down. You don't want Channing Tatum to be that. They like Channing Tatum. They want to set him up for another movie. So they literally put him on ice until the second one. And I thought that in itself
the third one, you mean?
Right.
Yeah.
I thought that in itself was a really funny joke. Like, I thought that was really, really clever. Yeah, I loved it, and it was 20 minutes longer than the first one too, because it took the time to care, and it still delivered all those things that everybody liked about the first one. You know, the cool, crazy action, the weird characters, the messed up violence, the, you know, like the crass sexual nature, like all of it. It's all there.
Yeah,
but it took the time also to.
Here's the other problem with it compared to the first one. I still gave it. Like at my job, I'm mainly critic for Pasadena Weekly. I write for a few other sites, but the thing is that. At the Weekly, I wish that I was allowed to do pluses and minuses with the letter grades,
sure.
But my editor, for some reason, is just like, no, it's just got to be A, B, C, D, F, E,
What'd you give it?
F. I give it a B.
Good.
I give the first one an A, and it was one of my top 10 of the year. And the difference was the first one, they had the advantage of having all the training sequences, and those were all incredibly exciting, incredibly funny. And this one he's already in. So there was like between, I don't remember what the scene was before there was big action, but before the snow resort with the giant spinning thing falling and crashing and all, there was about, I couldn't have my phone under on the screen, but it felt like 30 to 40 minutes of no action happening.
Well,
and so I thought, this really is dragged out and bogged down. It was a much longer movie than the first one. It was 20 minutes longer. It's like, what's the point?
The point is that they cared. They cared about who. And again, that's not necessarily, that doesn't make it better. That doesn't even necessarily make it good. Mm-hmm. What it makes it is a movie that I am interested in. And I'm interested in it because I really do love people. I care about people. And to me, you know, a movie character, whatever universe they exist in, is a person. You know what I mean? And so when they're just used as discarded tissue paper like they are in the first one, it's not really for me. But in the second one, things actually have weight. And you know what? Mm-hmm. If they hadn't shown in the trailer that all of the Kingsmen die, that would have been one of the most shocking things you'd seen. When Roxy just blows up, when they all just die, it's incredible.
Well, you know, one thing I thought was interesting about number 2, so to speak, was that both these movies, some people think I'm crazy for being a fan of this site, but I recommend checking out, if you're into conspiracy theories or symbolism in society and all this stuff. Maybe this site is a little over the top, but vigilancecitizen.com is a really fun site. And anyways, they point out they're really big and obsessed with MK Ultra and Monarch programming and the Illuminati and all this.
Right.
And the Kingsman movies are heavily symbolic about those things. Monarch programming is an enormous part of both films, especially the second one. I won't say how, because it is a good movie. We should encourage people to see it. So, but yeah, Monarch programming is a big part of it. And the first movie, Vigilant Citizen, freaked out like, oh my God, they're selling Monarch programming to the masses, to our young people. Well, so what? It's still entertaining. And I think people should be aware that
if anybody watches The Kingsman and wants to be either a Kingsman or a statesman, then they've got problems. Like, I think both those movies kind of show how it's not all like what it's made out to be in movies and stuff. Mm-hmm. Like, it's pretty. It goes for the jugular and it gets there.
Well, let me point out a movie that I really liked. You probably didn't see this, I don't think, but just since you've gotten to do at least 3 of yours, and you know we don't have time to go through all 5 of both.
You're doing ones you didn't like, though.
Oh, that's right. But one I liked.
Nope. You brought this on yourself.
One sentence.
Uh-huh.
I want to tell people while it's still somewhere in the theaters,
Bad Moms.
See American Made.
Oh.
American Made is fantastic. Well, Bad Moms is great, but American Made is great. You walked out on it?
Yeah.
Why?
It's artificial.
No, I thought what I liked about it was that I thought it was actually one of the most authentic things that Tom Cruise has done in ages.
The fake zooms, the purposeless handheld,
okay, well, I was talking about story and character.
It's also a movie it didn't go further than saying that the Wikipedia article was cool. But what did you not like this year?
What did I not like? Okay. Well, I'll name these and see which one you want me to jump on. I really hated Dunkirk. It made me nauseous, like literally because of the filmmaking technique, and the music score was beyond annoying.
The music to me sounded like Hans Zimmerman masturbating. It was literally like
I just thought it was just annoying. That and The Foreigner, Jackie Chan's movie, two worst scores of all time almost.
Yeah, you described that score as 70s porn music with people farting in the background.
That's what it sounds like, seriously. If anybody sees The Foreigner, that's what it sounds like. If you want to clear a party, get your Lou Reed Metal Machine music and your Foreigner soundtrack.
I love me some Lou Reed Metal Machine music.
I've heard that before. I don't see why.
I got it on my iPod right now.
No, you don't.
I do.
Can you play it?
Oh, I don't have my iPod with me.
Oh, damn it. Okay, but why do you like it? It's generally... I think he purposely tried to make it bad.
Well, he tried to make... He was proving a point that people like anything based on who you are, not what it is.
Mm-hmm. And that's so why do you like it? Just because he tells you?
I like to revel in that sometimes. Like I like to kind of,
Yeah, I think that we all have something that we want to go, screw you. I know this is annoying, but I like it. Mm-hmm. So, but no, okay, Dunkirk, Detroit, oh my God. That's one movie that, if I have to admit, I got bought out sort of ever in my career. 8 years reviewing movies, well over probably 1,200 movies I've done reviews on. That's one I'm ashamed to say I got really pressured to go to our press day, go to our press event, go to the... And I normally don't let myself get fooled by that stuff, but complicated reasons, no reason to bore people. I'm just saying I was wrong to like that movie, and I think it was also the PC pressure of, oh, you must like this movie. It was brought up by Catherine Bigelow, and it was about this the 1967 Detroit riots. And the thing is that the movie, rather than really focusing on the riots as a whole, it's a 2.5-hour movie, and I'd say at least 50 minutes of it, probably more, takes place in a hotel where a bunch of black men and two white girls that are hanging out with them and are involved with them they're having a party, and one of them takes a joke shot using a cap gun at some cops, and the cops decide to raid this building, and so it becomes this non-stop, unending 50 minutes or more of psychological and physical torture against these black men and these women. And I was like, what's the point? And what really made me mad is I was lured into it, and this is a review for some so-called faith-based sites as well. And that's what lured me in, was some PR person for that going, oh, this is a great movie, we want to sell it to Christians because it's got a really meaningful thing to say about race relations. No, it was just a really hateful, vile, like pornographic almost kind of fixation on this stuff. And I walked out at one point and started texting the PR person going, what is wrong with you? Because there's a scene where these two women it looks like they're about to be led upstairs to get raped by some cops. And I was just like, I've had it. This is it. There's no, I'm out. And I crawled back in to get my bag, and then I sat down and gave it a second chance, and it's still just a vile, horrible movie. And I think everybody jumped on a bandwagon like, oh, let's like it because...
I don't think they did, though.
Cop beating, well, not the public, but critics really did praise it a lot.
Well, yeah, but
and everybody, all the actors on the press, they were like, oh, I did it because it was Catherine Bigelow.
When I saw Zero Dark 30...
Catherine Bigelow, all the critics, too.
When I saw Zero Dark 30, I thought it was pretty bad. And
I hated it, too.
And I heard her talk about it. I was like, wow, she's really interesting.
How so?
She's not...
she's so overrated.
Well, I don't want to say anything like that because, who knows, maybe I'll meet her one day. Again.
Well, I don't care.
But what I will say is after that movie, I said to my buddy, I was like, that movie's so bad. I bet you, based on what she was saying in her Q&A, I was like, I bet you the next movie she makes is going to be about cops hating black people.
And was she talking about that?
No, just I could tell. And then when it was announced she was making Detroit, I said to that same friend, I said, hey, I bet you $100 the opening scene is going to be a black guy talking to two white cops in an interrogation room, and he's going to think they're on his side, but then they're going to turn it on him. And I haven't seen
the opening scene?
I haven't seen the movie, but I saw the trailer, and that's the whole trailer.
Oh, yeah, it's a lot of it.
Yeah, I would never see Detroit. And back to Dunkirk, though. I'm really anti-Christopher Nolan. I think he's... and I've spoken to him about this, so it's not like,
You've spoken to him?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I think I got fired from where I was working because of what I said to him.
Okay.
But when I saw Dunkirk, I will say that of the Christopher Nolan movies, it's the one that I've kind of like hated the least, next to The Prestige. I love The Prestige.
I love The Prestige.
And I like Dark Knight Rises. I don't think it's good, but I enjoy it, but it's a bad movie. But Dunkirk, I described it as when it's raining outside, so you run into a museum, but not really because you want to go to the museum, just because it's open and you want to get out of the rain, and you just read the placard cards while you're waiting for like while you're waiting for the rain to stop. That's how Dunkirk felt.
There was nobody to engage in that movie. It was
that's
like...
not, I don't know if that's the issue.
That was my issue with it.
It just looked like people in costumes. It looked like people in costumes in a very safe environment. The way that the movie's filmed, it feels very safe, and it feels very... there's no threat to how it's shot, and I just thought it was kind of lifeless and kind of pointless.
Well, I think it was... Well,
much like Christopher Nolan himself.
Really? Well,
just kidding. That's just kidding. I mean, he does wear scarves in summer in L.A., but that's,
Well, we have like 5 left, so 5 minutes left. So
go on with your next ones.
Yeah. Okay, so Detroit, Dunkirk. God, what the hell? I can't even read my writing on another one. Oh, It Comes at Night. I just want to mention this for a second. It Comes at Night. Have you seen it?
Nobody liked it. I didn't see it.
Oh, my God. It was so horrible. It was so effing horrible. I mean, just like it made me hate people, existence. It was just a bleak, disgusting, horrible movie from start to finish. The worst of humanity. It's imagining what happens. It's one of these apocalyptic movies, but it tries to be like really intensely about. No, it's about a family running and showing up at another family's house and begging in, and just how they turn on each other. Just horrible.
That description was horrible. like who would watch that movie?
Yeah, and it just gets worse start to finish. And then Mother.
Is it on Netflix?
I don't know. I mean,
I'll find out. Mother.
You will hate life after you see It Comes at Night.
After I saw Baby Driver, I hated music for a couple days. Continue.
God, I hate you at the moment. Wait, I can give you some of the other parts about Baby Driver being shallow or whatever, but the music? You hated the music?
I want to hear your last one. We only got like 30 seconds.
Mother, hated that movie. Beyond belief. I mean, I kind of liked it for a while. I was kind of laughing along with it, because it was awkward humor. But the last half hour or so is just nonstop, just piling on one horrible action after another, and I just, God, I hated that movie. I mean, just on so many levels, I could do an hour on that alone.
Did you like Noah?
It was okay.
Did you like Black Swan?
Yes.
Did you like The Wrestler?
Loved it.
Did you like The Fountain?
Never saw it.
Requiem for a Dream?
Actually, I know I need to see it. I have not seen it. Need to see it. Have not seen it.
They're all bad.
You really hated them all. But you liked The Mother?
No.
I thought you said you liked Mother. Oh, that's right. You said, yeah, you hated it, right?
I would never see that movie.
Oh, yeah, because he said 3 strikes because he had 3 movies you hated before.
Well,
right?
no, Darren Aronofsky and Jennifer Lawrence are both just like, no thanks.
Okay, I like Jennifer Lawrence.
I like Michelle Pfeiffer and Ed Harris, but... Yeah.
Okay, wow, we actually agree. I didn't even see it. But Mother, the thing about it, man, I mean, it's just... I'll tell you one thing, and then we'll probably go out on this. One interesting behind-the-scenes thing about it is, when I went to the critics screening, it was on the Paramount lot. And Paramount, by the way, I don't know who's running your studio, but everybody needs to be cleaned out, because you've had 3 embarrassing bombs in 2 months. You had Mother... Suburbicon, huge bomb. That's another movie that sucks ass. And then Same Kind of Different as Me, better than average for a faith-based movie, but that's still below most movies. But Mother, they actually made all the critics read a statement from the director. They were like, before you go in, you have to read this. And they actually stood and monitored, like the PR team, like supervised us reading. And it was this pretentious, like, crap.
Hey, man, they did that when Dune came out. They gave you the little booklet, too.
Really?
You know,
well, you were around for... I mean, the audience got the booklet at Dune, or what?
Yeah,
it must have been
at the beginning, they gave...
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I'm just saying, but sure, it was like something he issued at Cannes to convince people that this movie had something to say. And it was just this pretentious, overpopulation, global warming, da-da-da-da-da.
He's about as deep as a puddle.
Yeah, it was just terrible.
He's the guy who thinks that something being handheld automatically makes it tense and exciting. He's boring.
I mean, if I have to read your statement before I can even sit down to watch the movie, you failed right off the bat.
Next segment, all about Darren Aronofsky.
I think so.
I'll stay silent. All right, that's it.
So, folks, we're done. That was been Film Fighters. I'm Carl Kozlowski.
I'm Joe Black.
And thanks to David Robinson for his, as always, amazing sound work.
And thanks to M. Night Shyamalan for so many great films. All the good times.
Good night. Thank you.